Republican strategist and CBS News contributor Frank Luntz is with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what do you make of all this?
This is the most polarized election since 1968. I'm now calling it the disruption election.
But it's not yet between Republicans and Democrats.
It's worse. It's internecine warfare. Right. On the Democratic side, imagine Bernie Sanders. He's drawing more than 10,000 people an appearance, which is significant for an avowed socialist. And yet he's booed off the stage by African-American activists. It's unexpected. And you look at the Trump situation now, where he says just about anything, and it doesn't seem to affect his support. It is not about issues. It's about tonality. And the public seems to be responding to those who are the sharpest, most divisive, most outwardly negative about the system.
So what could change it, Frank?
It's going to get worse, not better. There's more money in politics today than there has ever been. These super PACs will be spending hundreds of millions. This is going to be the multi-billion-dollar advertising campaign, and we have 15 months to go, and we're nowhere near the beginning of this.
So how do we stop the madness then?
You can't, and that's the problem, because candidates are being rewarded for it. People who protest Bernie Sanders get tremendous publicity. I'm amazed that the Sanders thing did not get even more focus. This guy could win in Iowa. He could win in New Hampshire. And we've always assumed that Hillary Clinton would be the Democratic nominee. And on the Republican side, Trump now has a base of somewhere between 15 and 18% that'll stay with him no matter what he says, no matter what he does. Now imagine, who would have thought that you could criticize George Will, Charles Krauthammer, Megyn Kelly? He's gone after me for calling me a dunce. If my mom was alive, she would have called him up and ridiculed him. My mother spent a lot of money sending me to Oxford.
You said on Friday you were witnessing the destruction of a candidate, but he seems stronger than ever. I mean, he's going to stay in this race. There were 24 million people that didn't turn off the channel. They stayed and watched. And
that's because social media is no longer a reflection of politics. It is now driving politics. We used to be critical of the cable news channels for separating and isolating politics. Social media is more negative, it's more powerful, and it is determining the tone of the campaign.
So here's what I thought was interesting. After retweeting someone who called her a bimbo, and it went even further against Megyn Kelly, Scott Walker on this show, when we asked him, would you say those comments were inappropriate? He didn't. He then over the weekend did say they were inappropriate. And then you saw Jeb Bush say, how can we insult 53% of the electorate? You see Carly Fiorina and you see Lindsey Graham. Now is it incumbent on these other Republicans in the field to sort of distance themselves from Donald Trump and call the comments for what they are?
Well, they're afraid to do so because they're afraid this group at some point will have to go somewhere.
Meaning his base of support.
Meaning his base of support. And at this point, it would be more likely to go to...
Is it that, or are they worried about insulting Trump because what he does to people who criticize him?
So we're now afraid? Is that what you're saying, that we're now afraid of the people who are running for office? We're afraid of what they will do to us? My God, is that where politics has gone to? This is...
What has been the reluctance of some candidates then to criticize him?
Because they don't, at this point, they're trying to learn from what happened in 1992. The Republican Party condemned Ross Perot, and those voters went to the Democrats when it was all over. This time, they're trying not to condemn these Trumpites so that maybe they can win them back. And that's 20% of the electorate right now.
So who has the political capital then to just stand up to Trump and say, you know what, no more of this?
Ted Cruz could do it, because he's clearly anti-establishment. Frankly, Chris Christie could do it, and I'm surprised that he didn't. Yeah. Christie picked the wrong fight. His fight was with Rand Paul, who's not significant in this race at this point. He should have picked it with Donald Trump.
All right. Frank Luntz, thank you.